All right. Hopefully this is different. Hopefully this is better. We should be. I don't know how one person is already on and one person already liked this. First, there you go, Jess. That's what's up. Is the stream better? Little better, little not? Back, yo. That's right. You know it. Only by a little. That sucks. I really have no idea what's doing it then. We'll have to see. Dang, man. Sorry, guys. Hey, y'all. ABC123. What's going on? I mean, I can't see you, but we can judge my wife connection. It's that damn iPhone. Yeah. Wait, what are you talking about? This iPhone? It's fantastic. Man, guys, is the stream better? Because I did a speed test on Google Chrome, and it was a lot better than Firefox, which was the other one I was using. Testing download. Yeah, this one's, man, it's struggling. I'm not sure why it's like that. Much better? Well, that's great. The stream seems smooth now. Well, sweet. All right. Man, I got to figure out how to, because Google Chrome, I don't know what's going on with it, but it just uses so much RAM. And so I've had a couple of my tech friends say, go to Firefox. And so I did, but yeah, it looks like that's not happening now. I haven't experienced any glitching yet. Fantastic. Now, if we can get back all the viewers that were on, I'm just curious, how many of you are back? All of you? Much better. Now it's just my shitty Wi-Fi. Either way, I have a mediocre experience every time with you, Nate. I know where your mind. Yes, my mind. Yep. I love how. God. Oh. As soon as I thought that thought, and then I read the next sentence, I was like, wow. Yep, she knows. I'm glad you came back. I need this after my day. Yeah, I need this too. I look forward to these Friday Night Lives for sure. What would you do if you won the lottery, like $1 million extra? Oh, man, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't stop doing what I'm doing because I love to do what I do. I'd for sure invest a lot of money. I would probably give a lot of it away to not only people in need, but friends and family that are in need. Well, so they're people in need. But just blessing the people who have, like, the people who have really encouraged me. If I ever get really rich, I want to be able to send money to people. Like, I know that sounds weird, but just like a really encouraging, like, thank you. I don't know what else to do. Hope this helps your life, that kind of thing. I'd love to give, like, I'm a minimalist. I don't need a lot. So if I won the lottery, I'd invest it, figure out a way to keep making money with money, and then just keep giving it away. I made myself blush. That's amazing. I'll kick it off by re-asking my last question, if you don't mind. In your opinion, what financial novel, fictional, gosh, I can read, I swear. What fictional novel had the most somber and saddening moral? Definitely The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. It's a depiction of heaven and hell, if you're familiar with it, and how it gets into people's minds. It's super twisted but fantastic, and just shows you how, like, if there is life after death, I think that we still have free will after we die. And it just shows how, if heaven and hell is real, that people choose hell. They're not given hell, but they choose hell. So yeah, that and another one of C.S. Lewis's books, Screwtape Letters, which is demons writing to demons about how they twist and manipulate human beings. And it sounds really dark, and some people say, oh yeah, it is, but that book set me free in a lot of ways, because whether or not demons have influence over me or whatever, I just need a good mindfuck novel. I hope that makes, yes, it absolutely makes sense. Read C.S. Lewis, The Great Divorce, or C.S. Lewis, Screwtape Letters. Do it. Screwtape Letters, you can read like one letter every morning to like start your day, and it will be a mind fuck to start your day with. It's amazing. I did it to get through that book. It was amazing. What is your definition of free will? It's subjective. I don't know how there can be objective free will, but I do. But like I'm a compatibilist, so I do think there are certain things in life, like sciences and like our world. There are things that we can't control, but we are in control of our own mind. And so I say that we have control over our own mind. We have control over our own actions. We can shape what we do in life, what we become in life. And in some ways, we can shape our reality. We have a lot more power than we think. So, yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands, but here's some cash. I like it. Yep. That's me. You can see my face. That was so weird. I can't bend my hands past this point because of inflammation. It actually hurts to do this, and I can't straighten out my fingers like this. And so I was trying to like hold my face, like, hey, my face, but I can't do that. Mac Miller line. What she got up in her attic? Fuck. I like that. That's a nice line. That's nice. Doesn't your genetics and environment shape who you are as much as you shape your environment? Yes. I don't disagree with that, but that's a choice. Will you let your environment shape you and just you're like, this was determined for me, this is what I was given, this is what I was handed, and that's it, I can't do anything about it? Or are you going to say, yeah, this is what I've been given and it's a gift, and I can do whatever out of this that I want? I think deterministic thinking that says genetics and environment, like, they determine the way things are and that's it, and which is true, but if you stop there, it's a very it seems to me like it's not valued as a gift. Like, it's just like, this was determined, this happened. And if you value it as a gift, then I think that you can take it and change. Like, you can take that and say, this is the hand that I was dealt, this is what I was given, so what am I going to do with it? What am I going to change? What am I going to do? And I think that's where stories take place. That's the beauty of life right there. People taking what they've been giving and making it into something beautiful. And it's all about the mindset. And that just, to me, that just shows free will. That there can be two people that were in the same environment, in the same place, but they can have two separate lives because one believed that this was the hand that they've been giving, and so they're going to do something with it, and the other just decided not to. I'm so exhausted, I can't think of a question to ask. It's all good. I'm just glad you're here and viewing this. Love it. Do you know of the views in neuroscience about free will? I do. Free will is something that really bothers me. I don't believe we have free will. Yeah, what are you referring to in neuroscience? If you're referring to the Libet experiment, it's literally the worst. The more that I've looked at it, the more I'm like, this is the worst argument for determinism. Can you value a bad environment as a gift and see how you now have the ability to grow because of it? Absolutely. I believe that 100%. I read a study about our nutrition and how we've jacked it all up because certain climates are designed to have a certain diet, like northern colder areas versus the Amazon, attributing to moving to sickness. Wow, that makes sense. It really does. I'd be interested to read that study. You'll have to send it to me, Jess. What's going on, man? Anton, glad you're here, man. Remember the painting I was talking about earlier? Yes. It's in a debate. It's a debate whether the AI actually had free will or just chose between the painting knowledge they already gave it, but the art itself was. What's that painting called? I really want to look it up and see it. The stuff you said on environment shaping, you reminded me of the lyric, what are you going to use the tools? What are you going to use the tools you've been given or the cards you've been dealt as an excuse not to do shit with them? Yep. Yep. I mean, I think we have free will. You can do whatever you want, but you have consequences to those actions, whether positive or negative. True. I was born into a situation and was able to turn it around, and I don't take any responsibility for it because I've also done bad things when I was real young, like 4th grade. I don't believe I can take credit for any of it. Take credit for turning your life around? Well, why not? If you were given the opportunity to pick one of the two major political parties, Democratic or Republican, which one would you choose to fix? What revisions would you make to the party? If you were given an opportunity to pick one of the two major political parties, oh man. There's neither. It's like picking the two evils. That's how I view it. That's how I view politics. You know, if I were to choose one and say my thoughts and how I would fix it, then the other, it's just like, if you're not going to fix both of them, then it's just, that's why I don't like politics. If you're not going to fix, I don't know, man. I really do think it's like picking the two of the lesser evil, two different evils. It's like trying to pick your poison, you know? So yeah, I would try to change both of them, you know? That's a tough one for me. I don't know. What would you do? Do you think that individuals in society would do whatever makes them happy, or do you think that people should have limits? Do you think that individuals in society should do whatever makes them happy, or do you think that people should have limits? Why or why not? I think people should have limits, and the reason I say that is because there are boundaries to love. You know, if you truly love, like if you're in a relationship with someone and you truly love them and you've been married to them for 5 to 10 years, and then somebody else comes along smoking hot, they're all up on you, they want you, and you wanna, you know, you're like, you know, I've been with this person for forever. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a change of pace. But if you truly love them, you would have a limitation, a boundary there that says, no, I'm not going to do that. I am in a committed relationship with somebody else. That's one example. But I do think in order to have freedom within yourself, even, that there are limitations to that. I think freedom within ourselves actually is created by saying no a lot more than saying yes. Because so many of us say yes to a lot of things, whether that's saying yes to please people, whether that's saying yes because of fear of missing out, FOMO. But it's when we say no and choose to put up a limitation and a boundary there that we really get to know ourselves and who we are and feel freer within ourselves. So I would say it's better for people to have limitations for that reason. Why do you think that about the Libet experiment and the more recent replications of that experiment, but it also the way thought happens, that we don't choose our thoughts, we become aware of them? See, that's just not true. It's just not true. I'm curious if you've looked at any of the opposing arguments. It sounds like you've done a lot of research on why determinism, the science behind determinism, but I'm curious if you looked at the science behind why we have free will. And there's more and more coming out every year. Turning my life around or the bad things that happened, I am lucky. Sorry to get kind of real, but I experienced sexual assault when I was young, and I went to continue the pattern. I'm healing, and now I got lucky. Why do you think you got lucky? Because you turned your life around. I'm 20 and I feel like I got a leg up on everyone, but I don't think it's my fault who I am. It's not who I was, but I am right now. So who made that decision to get right? Who made the decision for you to turn around? That was you, right? Then what typical things allow couples to stay together their whole lives? Correction, there, not there. Then what typical things allow couples to stay together their whole lives? Commitment, communication, and just knowing, sacrificing for one another, but learning to love yourself inside the relationship. Actually, you need to love yourself before you get into a relationship. Commitment and communication. Yeah, that's what I've seen. Commitment and communication, and being a team, like working at being a team. Like relationships take work. Like if you're not willing to work for a relationship, you shouldn't be in a relationship. Like if you're just looking to have fun and like, oh yeah, this person's for, no. It's like, no, like the first 2 years in a relationship are super important. And if you feel like you can live with, this is like my role. If I feel like I can really live with that person and be myself in that relationship for 2 years, then I'd say it's like a good bet. But it's still going to take work. The relationship still takes work, no doubt. Yeah. I think that answers your question. Sexual assault for young people also leads to suicide. I've been suicidal in the past, but I'm at a place of self-acceptance, and that's why I feel lucky. Not many people accept their story. It was a life or death choice for me. Yeah, but it was your choice, and you were the one that decided to do that. You turned it around, and that's a good thing. I haven't really looked into the opposing arguments, if I'm being honest. Look into the opposing arguments and get back to me. I think it's going to make you think a lot more, and I think you're going to be at ease because there are a lot of great arguments from science and neuroscience and consciousness, and explaining why the Libet experiment is not great for determinism. Do some research and get back to me because I'd love to hear what you find. I definitely. Oh wait, yeah, I missed that. What do you think about white privilege, real or fake? Oh man, I'm about to get a lot of hate because of me saying this. I'm reading Jess's comment before I definitely think white privilege was a thing, but I think ultimately it's up to the individual to continue allowing a concept to be a thing that's real. It's just a concept, white privilege. Yeah, I don't think white privilege is a thing, but there are, no, actually no. I don't think white privilege is a thing, but there are people who still think it's a thing, and because they think it's a thing, therefore it's a thing. If that makes any sense. I've had this conversation with few of my friends that are not white, and they also don't think white privilege is a thing. The only reason white privilege still exists is because people think it exists. And so I've never felt privileged in any way because of the color of my skin, ever. I agree with you, man. I personally think that sometimes the right decision isn't always what makes you happy. If you are consistently led by feelings, it wouldn't lead you to a good place. Yep. And concepts need a host. Yep. You can't have a concept unless it's being perpetuated and considered it's real. Love equals sacrifice. Mm-hmm. You know, if the Christians are right about everything, then because Satan is depicted as having a trident similar to gardening fork, yep, hell might be a farm. And instead of everyone burning for eternity, everyone sent there would be forced to grow crops for heaven, and the whole burning thing was just aroused to scare people. What do you think of that theory? Yeah, I don't. It's a theory. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's real because, one, I am not entirely sure, even theologically speaking, that hell even exists. For sure, I do not believe or even think theologically, because it's not in the Bible, that hell is a place where Satan rules and Satan has a pitchfork or a trident. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah. I don't think I don't think that's, if hell is real, which I really don't, I don't think it is. But if hell is real, I don't think it's going to look anything like what we think it's going to look like. Honestly, I think it would look a lot like what is written in The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. I turned it around when I was in high school, and I'm not who I was in high school. Well, that's good. Think like you were in a car accident and you had to drive off the road somewhere else. That's exactly what I said, Nate. I know, I just worded it differently. I completely agree. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I'm trying to. It's all good. I'm trying to follow. I'm just trying to encourage you, Ian, that you did turn your life around, and it's a good thing. I would say that you did it. It would be funny, though. It would be funny, no doubt, if that were reality and we got there and we're like holding like tridents or pitchforks or whatever, and we're just like, so what do we do? Devil's like, you're a farmer. It's like, damn, that sucks. Me too. Hell is not a place in the sense of physical realm. It's not a place you can see or touch and hear and smell and feel things around you. It's not physical. It's an idea or concept. All I know is if he really has a farm, I could come up with some really good racist joke, but I'm not racist, nor am I a comedian. Yeah. Yo, sorry I had to take a call. It's all good, man. All good, Caleb. Sloshy whale. Where did you get the information that changed your mind on hell? Or was it just a realization you came to from your studying? Well, I studied it more, but there's also a lot of, so traditional Jews that are still alive today have two dogmatic beliefs that for some reason Christians just were like, yeah, we're not going to adopt those, or we're not going to, involve those in Christianity, even though Christianity came from Judaism belief. Same God, different religion, which is stupid. But one of them is that hell doesn't exist. The other one is in reincarnation. And there are some YouTube videos that talk about the theology of hell and how the Bible states, and it's called Sheol, that when everyone dies, saved, not saved, doesn't matter. When everyone dies, everyone goes to Sheol. There's even some theologians that believe that hell will exist, but it doesn't exist right now because when we die, we all go to the same place. And there's a couple other mystical stories that are read from mystics that have been in history that claim to have seen all these things, that there's some people in the Bible that went into the afterlife to save people in the afterlife, which also goes right along with my frame of thinking that there's free will in the afterlife, that you can still choose. If you see the reality, then you can still choose it. I think ultimately what Nate is trying to get you to hear is in what you did. If you made a conscious decision, you should be giving yourself credit for that. Don't give the trauma to the credit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If hell doesn't exist, then what's the point of Judgment Day? I think, all right, so if you want to interpret Judgment Day to be literal, all right, scratch that. Biblically speaking, mercy triumphs over judgment. Bible verse in James, book of James. I think it's 3rd chapter, maybe, I believe. And so I don't think Judgment Day is going to look how people think Judgment Day is going to look. It could be very different if it's a literal thing. But some theologians would argue that Judgment Day happened when Jesus died on the cross, that Jesus's judgment on the world was, I forgive you. So there's many different theologies around all that. But that'll, yeah, maybe that gives you a idea of what you were asking. Even as a Christian, I think that reincarnation is a possibility. I think it is too. It actually makes a lot more sense than the traditional heaven or hell thing. Dude, I'm sorry to extend upon that theory. Oh, dude, it's all good. But I happen to be skilled with good and agriculture, so hell wouldn't shit on me. Dude, that's amazing, man. Oh, that's so good. Hell ain't got shit on me. That is funny. Oh my God. I have a mean green thumb, so yeah. Yeah. That's funny. I often ponder the possibility that I'm in hell right now, or that we all are. Well, that is a theory that we create hell on earth. Who am I in each moment? I have the memory of past selves or past experiences, but every decision I make changes who I am. Yes, like a child of 6 is different from the same person at 20. Yeah, and then that gets into the philosophy of personhood. What makes you a person? It's not your body, because your body changes. This is your personality, but that changes as well. I haven't dove deep into those philosophy rabbit holes, but I do like them. Also, if hell did have DDT, everyone in heaven would have spiritual cancer. So Abrahamic ideas aren't foolproof. Also, if everyone DDT, doomsday, what was DDT? I'm missing something here. Basically, that's been happening for a couple of years now with the same gap. That's why I don't believe in free. What? See, I disagree with you. We can agree to disagree. I think I get where you're coming from, but I just don't. I feel like you made that decision, and I feel like that you should give yourself credit for that decision to bring change. So that's what I think. Think about Jesus dying for all of our sins, so we're all in a place where we are outgrowing our sins and becoming better than our sins, then yes, it would be hell. So I don't believe in free will. What's your position on assisted? Okay. Euthanasia. I don't even know how to say that word, but I'm pretty sure I know what you mean. Like, basically, is this what you're talking about? People are sick and they want to die, so they're basically committing suicide, and it's somebody that's assisting them to do so. Is that what you're talking about? OMG, does that mean Farmville on Facebook was just a preface to the afterlife? Oh my God. Yes, that's exactly what it means. I saw a question on Ask Reddit last night that said, what if you died and Satan asked you, how was hell? That's, that would throw me for a loop. I'd be like, you tell me? I have no idea. I think it should be legal. If that's how it's spelled. Side note, a loving God wouldn't send its creation to eternal torture. Very true. I like to think that God would show people the truth of morality, and the same person wouldn't refute it. I believe it. What up, man? Willie G, what's going on? So yeah, ABC, could you just, I feel like I know what the assisted whatever it was. Do I have that idea right? Is that what it is? I think assisted suicide. Oh, okay, it is assisted suicide. I saw a meme that said if when we die you wake up in an alien body holding a ball surrounded by, that'd be funny. I think assisted suicide should be legal as well, but then you would have those weird creeps who killed their mother for insurance and swear they just wanted to go. Yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, I mean it's a good point. I don't think it's a definite. I think it should be legal, but there should be legal to avoid situations like that. Legal documentation that this person wants it to happen because of the amount of pain that they're in. Like if somebody's in that much pain and they're slowly dying and it's just horrible on family and everything, like, yeah, put them out of their misery. They should be allowed to have that choice. But it needs to be legally in their consent. Enjoy your videos. They get me thinking. Well, awesome, man. I like to get people thinking. DDT was a chemical created by poison crop fields in Vietnam. So if hell had it, they'd serve heaven poison. Wow. That, man, these are some crazy theories. I think it'd make for a great sitcom. Oh, man. Yeah, so a lot of people think Lyme disease was meant as biochemical warfare. I'm a victim of biochemical warfare. Biochemical warfare. A lot of theologians believe that the rapture happens first, which is basically God taking everyone that is saved first, and then Judgment Day happens, where the rest are judged. What do you think? No. I don't think, I don't think Christians are home free just because they said the prayer. I think Christians will be judged even more so than some other people, personally. What are we talking about today? Man, we're talking about everything from heaven and hell to theology to philosophy to weird things, great things, you name it. We're talking about it. I've been reading this Explicit Gospel, nice, by Matt Chandler. In his book, he says heaven isn't really a new universe. It is just a renewed earth. If you think about the Lord's Prayer, it mentions on earth as it is in heaven. Yeah, that could be one interpretation of it. Nate's videos are like meth on our minds, only legal and doesn't affect the ability to retain your teeth. That's amazing. It's another great comment. Do you believe prayer works? Works in what sense? I mean, does it make you feel better? Yeah. So it works in that way. Does it work like God is actually hearing you talk and answers all of it? No idea. but I do know it makes people feel better. What do you think, Nate? No Alger? What? Nate No Alger? No idea what you're getting at. Yes, this is suicide, but not only for sick people. It's based on the assumption that a person must be sick to want to die. Yeah. I've wondered before if religion is not true, but a test on how we treat people who believe differently. Yeah, probably. I think I got to head out for a few minutes. See you then. Or whenever, man. Yeah, I'm going to give this like 15 more minutes and then I'll be gone. So if you don't see me again, see you next time. Peace. I'm honestly an atheist to a certain extent. I believe in God, but I don't know. So you're like agnostic. Like don't want to choose, but I know there is one. So you're basically agnostic. Have you looked into agnosticism and what that is? It doesn't let me post links, but just Google artificial intelligence painting. I'm Googling that right now. Yeah, I see a video. I'll watch it later. I guess I'm trying to explain that we are all tied to who we've been, and I don't think babies are responsible for who they are. I don't think those ties ever go away like prisoners in chain gang. Not that they go away, but you can decide what to do with them. So John, I pray every day, but I expect anything in return or don't expect. I believe prayer works. I believe getting any large group of humans in the same idea and the same intent could have huge impacts. Well, I'm going to go ahead and head off. So I'll see you next week, Nate. All right, Shells. Peace. I'll see you then. And have that song done so I can listen to it. You responded to a question. What do you think? Damn, what the? Where did you go? You responded to a question. What do you think by simply saying no? So you're Nate. I think no Alger. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. I have not, brother. Look into it. I would consider myself very skeptical, agnostic, but not really. But yes, I don't know. I didn't swipe the camera when you said you didn't swipe the camera when you said peace. You used to do that in all your videos. I likes it. When did I not do that? I do that in every video. How's your father? He's good. He's great. Just put out a new video with him on the other channel I'm in charge of, Pastor Reacts. The intuitive AI creations are dope. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see them. Meant to say don't expect. Yeah, I'll do the same thing sometimes. I'll do it, and it'll kind of make me feel better. But I don't expect anything out of them. I watched a podcast where a woman was saying the reason why we're so afraid of robots is because evolution has taught us to be afraid of something that looks human but doesn't move like human. Wow. It's probably true. Just Googled what you said and I'm agnostic. Yeah, man. You are agnostic. You watch MMA? Yes and no. I don't have that channel. I don't have access to it, but whenever I'm like out and about and I'm able to watch it, I do. I wouldn't be able to name any fighters or anything other than Conor McGregor. Because if it looks human, then. Speaking of tongues, I checked out the Misfit Volume. Speaking of songs, God, where did I read Tongues? Checked out the Misfit Volume 1 EP and it was good. Thanks, man. That's old stuff, dude. My quality of recordings is definitely like it. How do you feel about Brazil Forest Fire? It literally breaks me, breaks my heart. God is listening. Just that getting any huge groups of people focusing on their energy on one thing could be a hugely impact. Could be. I could see that. Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. Who's your favorite philosopher of all time? Old, probably Plato. New, probably William James. Got me wondering, what genre would you call your music? It's like a blend to me, but I can't ever put it. Yeah, I have this cinematic twist to my music. So it's like cinematic pop, but there's also some rock. But there's this cinematic twist that I have to all the music that I create, which I like, and I purposely go for that. How would you define the self over time? The self over time? I think the self takes place in your mind. I'm not sure if I completely understand the question, to be honest. God doesn't answer prayers, question mark? I don't know. What do you think? The return of waffle versus pancakes. Well, enjoy your videos. Keep them up to get you on my... Hey! Keep them up to get you on my podcast one day. I enjoy conversations with people of all types, trying to be like Joe Rogan one day. Hey, man, I'll come on your podcast. Just send me an email. Love to be on your podcast. I was just on a podcast called Theology in Progress. It's going to be out Monday. Dude, I'd love to be a part of your podcast. So what would be your opinion about if a person should have the right to die? How would you feel about terminally ill person using assisted suicide compared with someone with depression? No. If a terminally ill person who is in a lot of physical pain, I think it should be legal. Emotional pain, get help. Don't make that, get help. Get psychological help. Anyone else froze? Yep. Dang. Yes, for a bit. I think the buffering is back. Damn. No. We're good now. It's back. All right. Willie G. I said that. Yeah. Thanks, my guy. Have a good stream chat. Hope y'all. Yo, I'll be on your podcast. Send me an email. Save the Amazon for real. I've been trying to get what you said earlier about disabled people and old people being different, and I don't take credit for my own healing. I attribute it to the plan. Like, okay. Maybe we aren't supposed to label his music. I honestly hate how society tries to herd all of us like cattle into these little boxes. Yep, that's the personality trait we got, Jess. No boxes for us. Thanks, my guy. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Peace out, dude. Little boxes on the hillside, like little boxes made. Ticky tacky. Oh, yes. Yes, that's Walk Off the Earth. Right? I'm pretty sure that's Walk Off the Earth. How intelligent would I need to be to study philosophy at higher education level? Not very intelligent. I have a high school degree. I read philosophy for fun. I didn't apply myself in high school because of my home life. Yeah, I almost failed high school. You just got to be interested in it. You don't got to be super smart. You just got to be interested. It sometimes takes me 4 or 5 times to read over something until I get it, but I love it. I enjoy it. And so, yeah, there's tons of resources online. Bourbon or whiskey? Man. Well, bourbon is a type of whiskey, and so is scotch. They all fall under the category of whiskey. Bourbon is sweeter, smoother. There's some whiskeys that are actually scotch is fantastic. Probably Scotch over both of those. But Jameson. I'm a Jameson guy. I'm done trying to explain it, but I really appreciate you doing these Q&As. Hey, man. Yeah. Thanks for being here. It was good to enter into dialogue about it, but I think you heard my side of things, and I think I'm thinking your side of thinking, and it's just a simple thing of agreeing to disagree. But I think they're really important, and I'm heading out. Thanks again. Yeah, man. No problem. Glad you were able to make it. See ya. Weeds. This theme. Oh, okay. Whiskey. Jess, look up. I think it's Little Box by Walk Off the Earth. I think God does answer prayers. We just expect it to happen based on our time, which is totally understandable because it's the realm. Yeah. It might be the case. We just need a lot more patience. Can you imagine to live without multiple personalities, with multiple personalities like some people, like multiple independent thinking persons in the same body? I find that fascinating and also sad. The psychology behind that is that we actually, when we are a baby until we're like 2 or 3 years old, we actually have multiple personalities, several of them, but they morph and change into one personality, one coherent personality. The where disorders come in is that when they grow up, it's because of trauma that's happened to them, that their personalities, they don't evolve into one personality. They stay separated. And so I find it super interesting that that's the case, but I also find it even more interesting that we all, when we're born, have multiple personalities. And that's amazing. Wasn't trying to put it in a box, but I guess it's like cinematic alternative pop. Yeah, that's probably, if it wasn't a box, I would say that's it. I don't really see genres as boxes, but more like adjectives. Scotch for sure, but I typically drink Jameson. Man, get out of my head. Irish car bombs all day. You know it. I'm back, but I realize that I'm trying to explain that if a relationship between two people falls apart, it's not like others' fault. It's both. I can take full responsibility for who I am. I'm back, but I realize that I'm trying to explain that if a relationship between people falls apart, it's not one or the other's fault. It's both. I can't take full. You can't. I would say you can take full responsibility for who you are, but you cannot take responsibility for that other person and who they are. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for answering. When will you know God is giving you answers to your prayers? I guess when you can tangibly feel it. I'm going to give this 5 more minutes, guys, then I'm going to get on off here. 5 more minutes. I can take some responsibility, but not all. So I think we agree more than we did. Okay, yeah. Okay. We agree more than we disagree, so that's good. I didn't know that about babies. It's creepy. A YouTube I follow has multiple. Yeah, I've looked at a lot of those YouTube channels. And one that runs the channel, she said, discovered the others at 14 years old. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That is an interesting one. Whew. Yeah. So do you drink beer too? Can't. It has gluten. I mentioned Irish car bombs. Hinting you like Guinness. I love Guinness. I just can't drink it anymore because it has a lot of gluten in it. To me, when it comes to beer, the darker the better. I'm the same way. I love craft beer that are coffee stouts. When I used to, there's this restaurant in my local town that it's called 50/50 Tap House. And they have 50 types of craft beer on tap, and they have 50 different types of burgers. And you just go in there and you drink and eat burgers. They're was like my favorite restaurant before I went gluten-free. So yeah, and I always used to get coffee stouts. Like if there was a beer that was dark that tasted like coffee, I was ordering it. 100 subs. That's what's up, John. There was a George Carlton bit on answering prayers where he started praying to a celebrity instead of God, and it seemed like they got answered at the same rate. Half the time that's pretty crazy. That's pretty weird. Oh, George Carlton, isn't he a comedian though? Done. Done. What do you mean done? I forget what I said, but you said done. So, oh, done. Duh. Okay. Yeah, you guys were subbing for sub. Sweet. And half the time he didn't. Oh my. Will you see the Joker movie? Absolutely. My God, I can't wait for that movie to come out. Do you think philosophy isn't as appreciated as much as it should be in today's society? I could not say a bigger yes. It's so underappreciated, undervalued. It teaches people how to think. It's so important. I think philosophy needs to be taught in school, hands down. We have the Smoky Mountain Brewery, and they have the super coffee flavored. Basically, you could chew it. Wow, some dark stuff. He's typically a comedian, but a lot of people see him also as a philosopher. Interesting. Waiting for It 2 to drop. Yeah, I'm not into horror. Do you know any funny jokes? I do not. I do not. So I'm gonna give this like literally another minute. So any final questions from people? What's your definition of philosophy? Well, I mean the philosophy, the love of knowledge. I think it's knowledge. I think it's the love of knowledge. So my definition of it is the love of, not just the love of knowledge, but the love of wisdom, the appreciation for wisdom, and the appreciation for thought process, and the appreciation for thought journeys. And I think that's so important. Philosophy, I would define it as that, a conscious thought journey that helps you understand the world as a better place. If that does it. I think you should make a multiple hour drive to come see the Joker movie. Hint, hint. Multiple hour drive. Driving across. That's not a cross country. I don't think so. Have a good evening. Thanks for discussions. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for being a part. You, oh man, what's it called? Moderator. Absolutely. All right, guys. That is it for tonight. Sorry about the splits between the two, part 1 and 2, but I appreciate you guys so much. More videos coming out next week. I literally didn't upload this week, which sucks, but I just had other things going on. So, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the crap out of all of my content. The shit out of all of my content. Fuck it. Yeah, guys, keep it real. Stay skeptical. Question things. Love, peace, and peace, love, and positivity. That's what Logic says. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.